What's up, guys? It was Buffalo Bob, and it's been a while since I made a video. And obviously, if you caught up with me last week, I made a whole video about the Arizona Coyotes moving to Salt Lake City, Utah, and that got over 2,000 views. And I'm stunned as much as the next guy, and I can't thank you guys enough for that. But in the meantime, though, I do want to say that I actually have a collection of jerseys that I've been wanting to share for a while, but there were some in the box originally that I did not have, and I didn't have the confidence to tell you the story about those jerseys until now. So now I have more jerseys than I originally thought, and I'm going to share them with you guys. So I don't know how many I have, but a lot of them are older jerseys, like CCM, Coho, things like that. I'm a sucker for original, 90s, early 2000s jerseys. That's just me personally. I have some jerseys from the 80s as well, but I'm going to get to that in a little bit. So for the meantime, though, I have a stash, a collection of jerseys that I've had for about 20, 30 years. Some I recently just bought, so it's not all new. I'm excited to actually share this with you guys because there's a lot that I want to go over. So with being said, let's get right down to it. So the first jersey I have, now I don't know exactly how many I have, but I'm sure a lot of you would appreciate it. So with that, let's get started. So the first jersey I have is this one. This is the CCM version of the home jersey of the Washington Capitals. As you can see, it has the Screaming Eagle on it. And you can tell, because it says Capitals, because the older versions that came out later, I think after like the mid-2000s, they took the word Capitals off and they just left it the way it was. So this is an original 1990s version from like 1997 or 98. It has no name on the back. But I've always loved this jersey. And Screaming Eagle, they brought it back recently as part of the Reverse Retro series that just came out not too long ago. So that is a really nice jersey. But I do love the copper on this jersey. And not many jerseys in sports today use copper as a primary color, but the Capitals at the time used it. And that jersey always reminds me of like the twilight years of Peter Bondra, Sergei Gonchar, Olaf Kolzig, Jaromir Jagr, even in the first 2 years of Alex Ovechkin. So that's how far back with the Caps that I go. I love that jersey. So the next one I have, and as many of you know, I'm a Buffalo Sabres fan. And what's a Buffalo Sabres collection without the goat head? So the goat head, this is, as many of you know, this is my all-time favorite set of uniforms in hockey. And as you can obviously see, this is from CCM. This is from 1996, as you could tell. The pattern on this is just amazing. I love this jersey. Again, no name on the back. And the reason is I like to keep the value of the jersey unless I get it as a premature, gift. So obviously there's the goat head. And I absolutely love this. Now, whenever the Sabres play the Islanders, or if they play any other team, if there's they play like the Devils or the Rangers, or even at home right here on the couch, I always wear this jersey. I also have the new one that came out from Adidas. So I have both this one and I have the new one. So I absolutely love this set. So yeah, go ahead for the Buffalo Sabres, my all-time favorite uniform. The other jersey I have as well, again, I've said this in a handful of my videos, I'm also an Islander fan, and this is surprisingly the only one I have, and it's the Fisherman jersey. Now, this is from the Vintage series. I bought this jersey in 2019, and it's like sewed on in, whatever. It's kind of printed in. Yeah, as you could tell. So this is actually made by Fanatics, and surprisingly, this was before their product went to shit. So I actually got this in the first game back when John Tavares came back to Long Island in his first game at the Coliseum as a member of the Leafs. So that's when I got this jersey, and I was just thrilled to find this because I've been wanting a Fisherman jersey for a while, and my favorite thing about this patch is actually the lighthouse. This is actually the Montauk Lighthouse. This is not just for decoration. This is the Montauk Lighthouse, for those of you who don't know. And of course, the Fisherman. Now, I know a lot of people give this crap in terms of the design, but no, this is a really, really classic jersey. And I personally really enjoy this one. This is the only Islander jersey I have, but I tend to get one more in the future. I just don't know when yet, but I do plan to get another Islander jersey. So that way it's not the only, design that I tend to carry with me when I go to games. And most of my Islander videos on my channel has always been with that jersey. So I want to just throw that out there real quick. So now we're getting to some of the throwbacks. So the first throwback, and this is one of my personal favorite jerseys. I just love the color on this one. As you probably just saw, this is the Hartford Whalers with the name of Gordie Howe on the back, Mr. Hockey. I absolutely love the Hartford Whalers. When they moved from Hartford to Raleigh back in 1997, I was a little too young to watch the Whalers because I was born in 1992. So I might have been about 5 when they relocated. So I didn't really get a chance to really watch the Whalers growing up. But there's been like variant different versions of the Whalers jerseys that I've seen online. This one is from, I believe, the WHA before they merged over or after they merged over from the NHL. So I wanted to throw that out there. But my favorite thing about the logo on this jersey is if you look between the whale tail and the W, you can see it indirectly here is an H standing for Hartford. So I absolutely love this jersey. And the fact that Gordie Howe actually wore this jersey along with like Kevin Dineen and Ron Francis, Sean Burke, and a bunch of other legends, this makes it a little bit more special. But I absolutely love this jersey. I actually just wore this not too long ago for not only St. Patrick's Day, but I wore it because I really, really like the Whalers jersey so much. So that's that. All right, and we have another dead franchise next to Hartford. Actually, the next 3, I believe, are dead franchises. Next one, this one I just bought recently, and it was in my size. I bought this about a month ago. As you can see, this is the classic home jersey of the Atlanta Thrashers, or if you want to go predate like 05, 06, then this is the road jersey. I love this jersey so much. Like, I know the Thrashers themselves, they did not do very well in the NHL, and of course they're trying to expand back to Atlanta for the 3rd time, trying to reincarnate the Thrashers, which I completely understand, as I feel like that's not big enough of a market to really push the sport of hockey, and I think it deserves another chance. But this jersey is just classic. I hate the RBKH version of this jersey, so I always preferred this one the most, considering that it reminds me of like Danny Heatley, Kari Lehtonen in his earlier years, Ilya Kovalchuk, and then of course it led to Mario Hossa and Pascal Dupuis and all that. But no, this jersey, this is a really, really cool jersey. I love the gold and the orange that blends in with this jersey. As you can see, there's the Thrashers right on there. And I do hope that hockey gets another chance in Atlanta. I think it deserves it. So, yeah. All right. And the next one, I just bought this one a couple of days ago, and they just folded as a franchise, is the Arizona Coyotes. As you can see, this is the white home jersey from 1997. And the only reason this is not Arizona and Phoenix is you can always tell by the patch it says Phoenix Coyotes. So I am a sucker for the original Phoenix Coyotes. This reminds me of the earlier days of like Nikolai Hoppy-Bolin, Jeremy Roney, Keith Tkachuk. And the Kachina jerseys are freaking ridiculously awesome. I love it so much. I love the green on the shoulder when it came out at the time. And unfortunately, like I said, I made a video about them not even a week ago, and it's gotten a lot of buzz since then. So I absolutely love this Coyotes jersey, and I do hope that, you know, the NHL brings back hockey in the desert. I know people trash him saying, you know, that hockey doesn't belong in the desert, but look at Vegas in comparison. They can work if it's done correctly. But I knew when I first heard that the Coyotes were relocating to Utah, I had to get this jersey. And this is by CCM. I should mention the same thing with Atlanta. That's also CCM. So, yeah, the 2 dead franchises from a decade ago are both gone. So, I want to throw that out there real quick. All right, this one you may have seen me recently with in my Florida Panthers Road to 32 video. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I have the original 1996 Florida Panthers jersey from Starter. As you can see, it has the patch on there and the leaping cat with Ed Juvanovsky on the back. I actually wore this jersey in my Panthers video back in March when I went on my cruise trip in Florida. So I brought this jersey with me on the trip because it was the first night before we went on the cruise. I wore this jersey in the video, so that's what this is all about. But I always loved the Leaping Panther. I love this jersey so much. And the fact that I've had this for years, and then I had the 1996 patch on it, I think it makes it worth the while. I love the what the hell is the word? The secondary logo with the palm tree and the stick, and then they put the reverse retro on it in the middle, like right here, a couple of years ago. I think that makes it all a lot more special. So that's the Florida Panthers. All right, the next one. This is another jersey I've had in my videos. I wore this in the Stadium Series in February at MetLife. as you can recognize it, is the Philadelphia Flyers. This is from the Nike series. As you can tell, this is the classic road jersey from the Legion of Doom era with Eric Lindros and John LeClaire, Michael Remberg, Ron Hextall, Eric Desjardins, and all those guys. There's no name on the back, and the reason I like jerseys with no names on the back is because it keeps the original value of the jersey, and plus I don't feel like shopping for new jerseys every time. So this is one I've had for years with the Philadelphia Flyers, and I was always a big fan of this version of the jersey. I know the Flyers just recently half brought it back, but they reincarnated it a little bit. But this is the jersey they originally had in the 90s. I wish they kept it longer and did not completely abandon it with the black ones that they wore in the 2000s. I think like 2004, they abandoned this and they went with black, because I think it was intended to be an alternate and then became, the home jersey later. But this is my favorite Philadelphia Flyers jersey, like, ever. And it's not to say I don't hate the other designs of the Philadelphia Flyers. That's just what I prefer. And, of course, you've seen this one in several of my videos, is the New Jersey Devils. Now, the Devils I've had for a while now. Like, I've had this forever. But this is actually from the RBKH series. I think this is from the first series when it came out. And the reason I can tell is because of the line and the little patch on the corner. This is from the Reebok series. When these first came out, these were horrible. That's why I didn't bother getting the Atlanta Thrashers version. But the New Jersey Devils, they kept the same design for many, many years. And they just put the NHL shield right on the chest. And a lot of jerseys from the 90s did not have that patch until RBKH came over and took over. And then Adidas went along with it. So, really, I've worn this in the past. I actually wore this in my New Jersey Devils video when I went to see Rob Hazu in my video about a year ago. So, when my wife went away. So, I like the Devils. I've always respected the Devils. There's no harm between me and them. I love that jersey with the New Jersey Devils. All right, now we have another one. And this is more of the Chinese knockoff version of it. But I liked it so much that I figured, I get it. Is the Seattle Kraken. Now, this is clearly smaller in terms of the logo. The real one, the logo is much, much bigger, but this is obviously a knockoff, but I do tend to wear this at some point in the future. I just don't know when, whether if it's, seeing the Kraken at the Garden or at the Prudential Center or any other city on the road. Whenever I do Road to 32, I just don't know when yet, but as you can see, it has Philip Grubauer on the back, and it actually has the inaugural patch. It says 21-22 of the Seattle Kraken on here. So I like this jersey. And then, of course, you can't go without not mentioning the Wordmark secondary logo with the Space Needle and the anchor in the league. I think this is a very clever idea. And I think that it really stands out on the jersey, and it's one of the more iconic jerseys in the NHL. And the interesting thing is, of all the jerseys I own, this is the only one that has no shed of white on it, which I think is great. The only thing that's white on the jersey is on the neck strap, but you can't see that when players are playing, and it says Kraken right on there. So I can't really crap on it too much, but I really, really like this jersey, even though it's a Chinese knockoff. But it came out to be the original design as it was anyway. Okay, another one, and I'm very picky with jerseys, but I know my history, I know my hockey, I know what I'm looking for when it comes to jerseys. When it comes to the Pittsburgh Penguins, the Penguins were very challenging for me to pick a jersey because I like the jerseys they currently have, and I love the original ones from the days of Yager and Lemieux and then Barrasso and all those guys, but I went with the early to mid-2000s Coho version of the Pittsburgh Penguins. And you could see this is Vegas gold, and it has the Robo Penguin as the shoulder logo. I love it so much. Rather than being on the front, I have it on the side. This jersey, in particular, reminds me of the rookie year of Sidney Crosby in the last year of the NHL for Mario Lemieux before he took full ownership of the team. Well, with Ron Burkle, of course, but no, the Penguin logo is so iconic, they can't get rid of it. So that is little legit, like their identity as a whole. I would have had any other option with the Pittsburgh jerseys, but I was not a fan of the RBKH jersey when they went to the finals in 2008. I was not a fan of that jersey, but I really, really like this one because it's an old style version of this logo. And this was also the earlier years as well, and I forgot to mention it, is the earlier years of like Brooks Orpik and Marc-Andre Andre Fleury. So that's what this jersey reminds me of. And I love the gold that stands on this jersey. Like, I know they don't use it anymore and they retired it and they went with yellow basically, but they called it gold back then, like Vegas gold. I really, really like this jersey. So props to the Penguins on that one. All right, I just got a few more here. The next one, this is one of my favorites as well. There is a bit of an error on the jersey, and I'm going to point that out. And this is from the first year of Coho with the Minnesota Wild. And there's a very slight error on the back of it. I bought this on eBay a few years ago. As you can see, number 41. Whoever bought this jersey for their kid or whatever, I guess they wanted to put their favorite number on there, so I guess that's why it looks like that. But I love the Minnesota Wild patch on here where it says Minnesota Wild NHL Hockey on there. I wish, though, that it said Minnesota Wild Hockey Club. I think that would make more sense. But I love the logo, which is still in use to this day, with the bear and the forest and the star as the eye. I love this logo. There's so much detail on that logo. Like, it's not even funny. And this, when I think of the Wild, this is instantaneously what I think of. And the interesting thing about the jersey is there's a little bit of a netting, I guess, fabric on the bottom here that feels like junior hockey or whatever. I don't know. It's very interesting. But I remember seeing this when the Wild first came out as an expansion team. And I remember seeing this and I'm like, wow, those are really nice colors. But I guess to represent the Minnesota North Stars in a bit, and a kind of a slap in the face to them, they kind of just said, well, let's make our jerseys like a darker green or a Celtic green and rival the Dallas Stars at that point. So they kind of did, and then obviously things have changed over time, but the colors for the Minnesota Wild still remain the same, and they're not as wacky and radical with the design of their jerseys like they used to back in the day. So I miss those funky colors with the Minnesota Wild. All right, and I believe I have three more actually in here, so I'm going to get to that in a bit. Okay, now this one I bought a year or two ago. I actually bought this in a mystery box from coolhockey.com. I don't wear it because it's very, very tight on me, but it's an authentic hand-stitched jersey of the stealth jersey of the San Jose Sharks. As you can see, it's got a lot of stitching on here. There's the A, as I was talking about. I think I paid like $150 for this, but this is from coolhockey.com. As you can see, Erik Karlsson, Adidas, the stealth jersey. Again, the only reason I don't wear this jersey as much is because it's very, very tight on me, and because it's stitched, I don't really care for that kind of stuff. But it is cool, though, that, this was the jersey that was given to me by Cool Hockey. I was thinking like Nashville or Calgary at the time when I got this, or Colorado even. But no, I got San Jose. But it really holds up, and it's very, very nice. And I don't touch this, like I said, because it's so tight on me, because it feels like tight on my chest. I'm not a fan of that. But as far as details go, I love the neck area where it says, this is Sharks territory. And the Sharks obviously just went through a rebrand. I'm not sure, though, if they kept the stealth jersey. If there's a Sharks fan out there that, watches their games or whatever, or I can ask my buddy Rob, he might know. Let me know if they use this jersey still. I don't think they do, but if this is the case and they don't use it anymore, consider this a collector's item. That's kind of how I look at it. I love the modern logo of the Sharks, but there's just something very special about the original from the 90s when they came out as an expansion team. All right, now we have two more, and then we have a jersey that I will probably never wear in my life because of how much I hate them. I will never wear the jersey in my life, but I respect the player on the back, obviously. It's the greatest player of all time, so I can't give them too much crap. I wanted to find the Liberty jersey, but it was overpriced, and it wasn't in my size, and it was very, very expensive. But what I did, though, was I went to Dick's Sporting Goods not too long ago. I think I bought this like 2 years ago, but I have to show you because I can't stand them, is the New York Rangers. As you can see, it's the same fabrication from Fanatics, like the Fisherman jersey I showed earlier. So you can see it says Rangers. And of course, I can't go without not saying Wayne Gretzky. So, yeah, the GOAT. The great one, Wayne Gretzky. It's just a regular Ranger jersey. It's nothing really any different. The only thing that is different about this is the 1990s version of the Rangers. It's not like what they currently have today, where it's more modernized, obviously. Like, they changed the bits and pieces of the blue shirts for a while now, but this is the classic one. I think when they won the Cup in 1994. Now, obviously, Gretzky was not on the Rangers when they won the Cup in 94, but I'm talking about the specific design because the collar, as you could tell, is very different. It's kind of like slooped into the middle with white. They don't have this design anymore, at least from recent memory. But no, this jersey is remarkable. I enjoy it. I just refuse to wear it because I just cannot stand the Rangers. I hate them with a passion. The same thing would be applied for Boston or for Toronto, because I know what you're going to say. But didn't you wear a Bruins hat when you went to Boston? The answer is yes, I did, because I felt naked if I didn't wear anything. But I did have a jersey I forgot I had when I went to Boston almost 2 years ago. This was the jersey when I forgot to pack up, and I was just like, and I later regretted it. And it was my last jersey in the set. Is the Colorado Avalanche. Now, this is from Pro Player, and this is from, I want to say from 2000, or maybe like 1998 or something like that. So this was considered the home jersey at the time of the Colorado Avalanche. Now, my wife's a big fan of the Quebec Nordiques logo because to her, it looks like an elephant. But I'm going to try to get that in the future, but not at the moment, as I just got the Coyotes jersey. But, no, but this jersey in particular, I wanted to wear this when I went to Boston a couple of years ago, but I forgot about it. And yeah, but I still hold it. I really, really like the maroon color. I love the white on this. And of course, there's the big foot that they used back in the day. So it's going to be very interesting with what the Avalanche decide to do with this in the future. I don't think they're ever going to go back to this specific design, but the logo still remains the same because it is Colorado, and it's very, very iconic. And of course, you know, what's there to change? This is a perfect logo for them, basically. So that's basically all of my hockey jerseys that I've owned within the last 20 years of my life. And I actually have one more in here that I forgot to show you, but everything else is pretty much out the door. And I actually have a signed jersey from Reebok of the New York Islanders, and I've never shown this in my life. I have autographed memorabilia for the Sabres, but I have one for the Islanders, and I've never shown before. And half of the players on this jersey are signed by either the 2010 or 2011 or 2011-2012 New York Islanders. And this was actually a gift to me, and I forgot who gave it to me. I believe it was a friend of my dad's, and she gave it to me. But there are some big names on this jersey, and I never wear it because I don't want to kill the value of it. But obviously, there's guys like Josh Bailey, Franz Nielsen, who else is on here? Matt Molson, John Tavares. There's a bunch of names on here as well. Evgeny Nabokov, Travis Hamonic, Michael Grabner. Just as some names on here. So if you recognize any that are on this jersey, let me know. But yeah, so this is the last jersey I have. I just don't really want to wear it because, again, I don't want to kill the value of the jersey. But I do plan to hang it at some point in the future. But that, to me, is way too valuable. So with that being said, I'll let you guys know what's going on in the future for future projects and things like that. And stick around. Road to 32 will be announced very, very soon, 2 weeks after the draft. And be on the lookout for that. So with that being said, I'll let you guys know what's going to happen in the future. And I'll talk to you next time. Peace.